The starship Nautilus drifted silently through the Kuiper Belt, its sensors probing the icy depths of the solar system's outer reaches. Captain Zara Vega stood on the bridge, her dark eyes fixed on the main view screen. After months of searching, they were closing in on their target. "Contact, Captain," announced Lieutenant Ravi Sharma from the science station. "We found it." Zara's heart raced. "On screen," she ordered. The view screen flickered to life, revealing a massive structure floating amidst the ice and rock of the Kuiper Belt. It was clearly artificial, a glistening obsidian obelisk that dwarfed the Nautilus. "My God," whispered Commander Axel Donovan, Zara's second-in-command. "It's real. The artifact actually exists." For decades, conspiracy theorists had whispered about an alien object hidden in the outer solar system. Most dismissed it as nonsense. But when a dying billionaire released classified government files hinting at its existence, the race to find it began. "Readings?" Zara asked, her voice steady despite her excitement. Ravi's fingers danced across his console. "It's putting out some kind of energy field we've never seen before. Composition is unknown. Our sensors can't penetrate it." Zara nodded. "Axel, prep the shuttle. We're going over there." Hours later, Zara stood before the towering black monolith, her breath fogging inside her helmet. Up close, its surface seemed to shimmer and shift, as if it wasn't fully part of reality. "This is incredible," said Dr. Yuki Tanaka, the team's xenoarchaeologist. She ran a gloved hand over the alien's surface. "It's warm to the touch. After billions of years out here, it should be near absolute zero." Suddenly, a seam appeared in the obelisk's seamless surface. With a hiss of ancient machinery, a doorway arised open. "Well," Zara said, hefting her pulse rifle, "shall we see what's inside?" The interior was a labyrinth of twisting corridors and vast chambers filled with incomprehensible alien technology. In the heart of the structure, they found what they were looking for, a room containing a pedestal topped with a glowing crystalline sphere. As Zara approached, the sphere pulsed with energy. Holographic symbols erupted around her, filling the air with swirling alien script. "It's some kind of database," Yuki breathed. "The collected knowledge of an entire civilization." Zara reached out, her fingers brushing the cool surface of the sphere. In that moment, understanding flooded her mind. She saw the rise and fall of the precursors, an ancient race that had seeded the galaxy with life. She witnessed the creation of a vast network of wormholes connecting distant stars. And she learned the secrets of faster-than-light travel. Gasping, Zara stumbled back. "We need to get this back to Earth," she said. "Everything's about to change." In the months that followed, humanity's greatest minds worked to decipher the artifact's secrets. New technologies emerged at a breakneck pace: gravity manipulation, zero-point energy, and the holy grail of space exploration, the jump drive. Within a year, the first human colony ships were venturing to nearby star systems. Zara watched from the bridge of the USS Horizon, humanity's first true starship, as it prepared to make its maiden voyage. "All systems a go," Captain Axel reported. He'd followed her from the Nautilus, along with much of her old crew. Zara nodded, a fierce grin spreading across her face. "Then let's make history, engage the jump drive." Space twisted around them, and in a flash of otherworldly energy, the horizon vanished from the solar system. Humanity's journey to the stars had begun. But as they emerged in a distant star system, alarms blared across the bridge. Axel's eyes widened as he read the sensor data. "Captain," he said, his voice tight, "we're picking up multiple contacts. They're not human." Zara's blood ran cold as she stared at the approaching fleet of alien warships. First contact, it seemed, would not be peaceful. "Battle stations," she ordered, "and may God have mercy on us all." Part 2, First Contact. The alien armada loomed before the horizon, a constellation of sleek, predatory vessels that gleamed like polished obsidian. Captain Zara Vega's mind raced as she assessed their options. The Horizon was an explorer, not a warship. If it came to a fight, they didn't stand a chance. "Open a channel," she ordered. "All frequencies." Lieutenant Sharma's fingers danced across his console. "Channel open, Captain." Zara took a deep breath. "This is Captain Zara Vega of the United Earth ship Horizon. We come in peace, seeking friendship and knowledge. Please respond." For a long moment, there was only silence. Then, with a crackle of static, an alien visage appeared on the main view screen. The creature was vaguely insectoid, with multifaceted eyes and mandibles that clicked as it spoke. "I am High Commander Zix Tara of the Swarm Dominion," it said, its words translated by the ship's computer. "You have trespassed in our space, little mammals. Prepare to be boarded and assimilated." Zara's heart sank. So much for peaceful first contact. "With all due respect, Commander, we meant no trespass. We're explorers, new to interstellar travel. Surely we can." Silence. Zix Tara chittered. "Your primitive species is of no consequence to the swarm. You will serve as drones or be eradicated." The transmission cut off abruptly. Zara turned to her crew, saw the fear in their eyes. But beneath that fear was something else. Determination. They had come too far to give up now. "Options?" she asked. Commander Donovan studied the tactical display. "Their ships are faster and more heavily armed than ours. We can't outrun them, and we can't outfight them." Dr. Tanaka spoke up from her science station. "Captain, what about the artifacts database? Maybe there's something in there that can help us." Zara nodded. It was a long shot, but it was all they had. "Do it. Ravi, keep hailing them. Try to buy us some time." As Yuki delved into the alien knowledge they'd brought from Earth, the swarm vessels began to close in. Zara watched, her fists clenched, as the distance ticked down. "I've got something," Yuki exclaimed. "The precursors had defensive technology far beyond anything we've seen. If I can interface it with our systems." "Make it happen," Zara ordered. The first swarm fighter launched a salvo of energy weapons. Zara braced for impact, but instead, a shimmering field of golden light enveloped the horizon. The alien weapons splashed harmlessly against it. "Shields holding," Axel reported, a note of awe in his voice. "Whatever Yuki did, it's working." Zara allowed herself a small smile. "All right, let's see what else this old girl can do." Evasive maneuvers and charge weapons. If it's a fight they want, we'll give them one they won't forget. The Horizon danced through space, its newly awakened precursor tech giving it an edge the swarm never saw coming. Energy beams lanced out, slicing through the alien fighters with surgical precision. On the swarm command ship, High Commander Zix Tara watched in disbelief as the primitive human vessel decimated his attack squadrons. "Impossible," he chittered. "How can they possess such technology?" Back on the Horizon, Zara felt a surge of hope. They were holding their own, but they couldn't keep this up forever. They needed a way out. "Yuki," she called, "any chance that database has a map of local space? Maybe a place we can hide?" The scientist's eyes lit up. "Better than that, Captain. I think I found coordinates for a precursor outpost. If we can reach it." "Plot a course," Zara ordered. "Ravi, prepare to broadcast these coordinates to Earth. They need to know what's out here." As the Horizon prepared to jump, a final transmission came through from the swarm flagship. High Commander Zix Tara's mandibles quivered with rage. "This isn't over humans," he hissed. "You may have surprised us today, but the swarm is vast. We will find you a homeworld, and when we do, your species will be nothing but a memory." Zara met the alien's gaze without flinching. "You're welcome to try, Commander, but I think you'll find humanity isn't so easily erased." With that, the Horizon vanished in a flash of light, leaving behind a battered swarm fleet and a shaken High Commander. As they traveled through the depths of space, Zara knew that this was only the beginning. Humanity had taken its first steps into a larger, more dangerous universe than they could have imagined. But they had also discovered that they weren't as helpless as they'd feared. With the wisdom of the precursors to guide them and their own ingenuity to light the way, perhaps they stood a chance after all. As the horizon hurtled towards the uncertain future, Zara made a silent vow. Whatever challenges lay ahead, whatever enemies they might face, humanity would meet them head-on. They had come too far to turn back now. The stars awaited, and with them, the destiny of an entire species. High Commander Zix Tara paced the bridge of his flagship, mandibles clicking in agitation. The encounter with the human vessel had been a disaster, and now he faced the unenviable task of reporting to the Swarm Empress. As the holographic image of Empress Vexala materialized, Zix Tara lowered his head in deference. "My Empress, I bring news from the outer reaches." The Empress's compound eyes glittered coldly. "Speak, Commander. What have you found?" Zix Tara recounted the encounter with the horizon, his antennae twitching nervously as he described the human ship's unexpected capabilities. When he finished, silence hung heavy in the air. "You were bested by primitives." Vexala's voice was dangerously soft. "They possessed technology beyond their apparent development level," Zix Tara explained hastily. "We believe they may have stumbled upon precursor artifacts." The Empress's mandibles clacked thoughtfully. "Interesting. Perhaps these humans are more useful than we initially believed. Find their homeworld, Commander. We will take this technology for ourselves and add their biological distinctiveness to our own." As the hologram faded, Zix Tara turned to his subordinates. "You heard the Empress. Mobilize the fleet. We hunt for Earth." Meanwhile, aboard the horizon, Captain Zara Vega and her crew had reached the coordinates of the precursor outpost. As they dropped out of FTL, a massive space station shimmered into view, its architecture reminiscent of the artifact they'd found in the Kuiper Belt. "Life support is active," Ravi reported, his voice tinged with awe. "It's like it was waiting for us." Zara nodded. "Axel, assemble an away team. We need to learn everything we can about this place and fast. I have a feeling our new friends won't be far behind." As they explored the station, Dr. Tanaka made a startling discovery. "Captain, I think I found some kind of manufacturing center. If I'm reading this correctly, it's capable of producing ships and weapons on a massive scale." Zara's eyes widened. "Can we get it operational?" Yuki nodded slowly. "I think so, but it'll take time to decipher all the systems." "Time we may not have," Zara muttered. She tapped her comm badge. "Ravi, any word from Earth?" "Yes, Captain," the lieutenant's voice came through. "They've received our warning and are mobilizing defenses. But there's more. The artifact we found, it wasn't the only one. Similar structures have been discovered on Mars and Venus. They're activating, Captain." A spark of hope ignited in Zara's chest. Maybe they stood a chance after all. Back on Earth, humanity raced to prepare for the coming storm. The secrets unlocked from the solar system's artifacts were integrated into a crash defense program. Shipyards worked around the clock, churning out vessels equipped with reverse-engineered precursor tech. But it wasn't just military might that humanity focused on. The best minds on the planet worked tirelessly to unlock the full potential of the alien knowledge they'd been gifted. Breakthroughs in physics, biology, and consciousness itself reshaped human understanding of the universe. As the months passed, a defensive grid took shape around Earth and its colonies. The fledgling human fleet grew, each ship a hybrid of human ingenuity and precursor wisdom. And all the while, they waited for the hammer to fall. They didn't have to wait long. The swarm arrived in force, thousands of ships dropping out of FTL on the edges of the solar system. High Commander Zix Tara surveyed the human defenses with disdain. "Pitiful," he chittered. "They've barely managed to arm themselves. This will be over quickly." But as the swarm fleet engaged, they quickly realized their mistake. Human ships danced through space with impossible agility, their weapons tearing through swarm defenses like paper. On Earth's surface, energy shields flickered to life, effortlessly absorbing the bombardment from orbit. Zixtaro watched in growing horror as his mighty armada was systematically dismantled by the very prey they'd come to devour. Impossible, he hissed. How could they have advanced so quickly? On the bridge of the UES Defiant, the flagship of Earth's defense fleet, Admiral Zara Vega allowed herself a grim smile. The promotion had come fast, but desperate times called for desperate measures. That's humanity for you, she murmured, always exceeding expectations. As the battle raged, it became clear that the swarm had made a critical error. They had underestimated humanity's capacity for growth, for adaptation. What they saw as a primitive species ripe for conquest was in fact a young, vibrant civilization on the cusp of a golden age. The swarm's defeat was total. Those ships not destroyed fled in disarray, jumping to FTL with no clear destination. As the last enemy vessels disappeared from sensors, a cheer went up across the human fleet. But Zara knew this was only the beginning. The galaxy was vast, filled with wonders and terrors beyond imagination. Humanity had weathered its first storm, but there would be more to come. As the fleet regrouped, Zara gazed out at the star-studded blackness of space. They had been forged in fire, tested and found worthy. Now, it was time to take their place among the stars. The age of humanity had begun. In the aftermath of the swarm's defeat, Earth experienced a renaissance unlike any in human history. The fusion of precursor knowledge with human innovation led to advancements that would have seemed like magic mere years before. At the forefront of this revolution was the newly established Galactic Sciences Academy, headquartered in the sprawling metropolis that now covered much of the Sahara. Dr. Yuki Tanaka, now director of xenotechnology, stood before a holographic display of their latest breakthrough. As you can see, she explained to the assembled world leaders, we've managed to crack the precursor's quantum entanglement communication system. This will allow instantaneous communication across any distance. President Omar Chen of the United Earth Government nodded approvingly. Excellent work, Doctor. This will be crucial for coordinating our expansion efforts. Admiral Zara Vega, present via hologram from her flagship, spoke up. What about weapons and defenses? The swarm won't stay licking their wounds forever. Yuki's eyes gleamed with excitement. I'm glad you asked, Admiral. We've made significant progress in adapting precursor shield technology, but the real game-changer is this. She tapped a control, and the hologram shifted to display a sleek, almost organic-looking device. We call it the Nexus Core, Yuki continued. It's a quantum computer unlike anything we've ever seen. It can process data at speeds that make our old supercomputers look like abacuses. But more importantly, it can interface directly with precursor technology, allowing us to unlock its full potential. The implications were staggering. With the Nexus Core, humanity could not only use precursor tech, but improve upon it, pushing the boundaries of what was possible. Over the next few years, the face of human civilization changed dramatically. Our colonies rose from the deserts and oceans, their self-sustaining ecosystems providing homes for millions. Orbital elevators stretched into the sky, making space travel as common as catching a bus. But perhaps the most significant change was in humanity itself. The study of precursor biotechnology led to treatments that could extend the human lifespan indefinitely. Cybernetic enhancements became commonplace, blurring the line between man and machine. As humanity's power grew, so did its reach. Colony ships ventured forth, seeding new worlds with the children of Earth. Each colony was a testament to human adaptability, thriving in environments that would have been lethal just a decade earlier. Yet, even as they expanded, they remained vigilant. The defeat of the swarm had shown humanity its potential, but also the dangers that lurked among the stars. Defense platforms bristling with weaponry orbited every human world, while fleets of advanced warships patrolled the space lanes. 5 years after the Battle of Earth, Admiral Vega stood on the observation deck of Heinlein Station, the massive space dock that served as headquarters for the United Earth Fleet. Below her, the blue marble of humanity's homeworld slowly turned. Beautiful, isn't it? A voice said behind her. Zara turned to see President Chen approaching, his augmented eyes gleaming in the starlight. "It certainly is," she agreed. "Sometimes I can hardly believe how far we've come." Chen nodded, his expression thoughtful. "We've achieved so much, but I can't help feeling we've only scratched the surface. The precursors left us a legacy beyond our wildest dreams, but also a responsibility." "You're thinking about the confluence, aren't you?" Zara asked. The confluence was the name given to a mysterious region of space mentioned in the precursor records. According to the fragments they deciphered, it was a place of immense power and importance to the ancient aliens. "We need to find it," Chen said firmly. "Whatever the precursors were protecting or hiding there, we can't risk it falling into the wrong hands, especially not the swarms." Zara's eyes hardened. "You've had reports." Chen nodded grimly. "Our long-range sensors have detected increased swarm activity near the Perseus arm. They're rebuilding, and if the intel is correct, they're not alone." A chill ran down Zara's spine. The idea of the swarm allying with other hostile species was troubling, to say the least. "Then we'd better find the confluence first," she said. As they discussed the plans for the expedition, neither of them noticed the shimmer of a cloaking field deactivating just outside the station. A sleek, dark ship, unlike anything of human design, hung silently in space. Inside, a figure shrouded in shadows watched the two leaders with inhuman eyes. "How interesting," it mused in a voice like silk over steel. "It seems our little experiment has yielded unexpected results. The board will want to know about this." With a thought, the mysterious vessel vanished, slipping away to report on the species that had so dramatically upset the balance of galactic power. The race for the confluence had begun, and more players were entering the game than humanity realized. The next chapter of their journey would test them in ways they couldn't imagine, and the fate of not just Earth, but the entire galaxy hung in the balance. The UEAS Artemis, humanity's most advanced exploration vessel, dropped out of FTL at the edge of an uncharted star system. On the bridge, Admiral Zara Vega surveyed the holographic display with a mixture of anticipation and trepidation. "Status report," she ordered. Commander Axel Donovan, now her trusted XO, responded promptly. "All systems nominal, Admiral. Sensors are detecting a massive energy signature from the fourth planet. It matches the precursor readings for the confluence." Zara nodded, her cybernetically enhanced eyes scanning the data scrolling across her neural interface. "Any sign of swarm activity?" "Negative," Axel replied. "But there's something else. We're picking up an unknown ship type in orbit around the planet." Before Zara could respond, a transmission cut through their comms. A face appeared on the main view screen, distinctly alien, with silvery skin and eyes that seemed to swirl with galaxies. "Greetings, children of Earth," the being said, its voice resonating with an otherworldly timbre. "I am Zephyr, emissary of the Cosmic Board. We've been expecting you." Zara's mind raced. The Cosmic Board. This was an entirely new player, one not mentioned in any precursor records they'd uncovered. "Greetings, emissary Zephyr," she replied cautiously. "We come seeking knowledge and peace. May we approach?" Zephyr's expression was unreadable. "You may, but be warned, the truths you seek may not be what you expect." As the Artemis entered orbit, Zara led a small team to the surface. The planet was a marvel, a world-spanning city of impossible architecture, thrumming with energy. At its heart stood a structure that defied description, a geometric impossibility that hurt the eyes to look at directly. Zephyr met them at the base of the structure. "Welcome to the Nexus," it said, "the heart of the confluence and the legacy of those you call precursors." Inside, Zara and her team were confronted with technology beyond even their enhanced comprehension. Holographic displays showed the entire galaxy, no, multiple galaxies, with swirling patterns of energy connecting them. "The precursors were not gods," Zephyr explained, "but gardeners. They seeded life throughout the cosmos, guiding its evolution. The confluence is their greatest achievement, a nexus of realities, a place where the very fabric of space-time can be reshaped. Dr. Tanaka, who had insisted on joining the mission, could barely contain her excitement. This changes everything we thought we knew about the universe. Zephyr's expression grew somber. Indeed, but it also presents great danger. The swarm you encountered, merely one of many threats spawned from misuse of this power, and now a greater darkness approaches. With a gesture, Zephyr brought up a new hologram. It showed a vast armada, swarm ships, yes, but also vessels of a dozen other alien designs, all converging on their location. The Void Collective, Zephyr intoned. An alliance of species bent on using the confluence to reshape reality in their image. They must be stopped, or all of creation will suffer. Zora's mind whirled with the implications. Humanity had come seeking answers, only to find themselves on the front lines of a war for the fate of the universe itself. "How long do we have?" she asked. "Days at most," Zephyr replied. "The Cosmic Board has done what it can to slow their advance, but we are bound by ancient laws. The defense of the confluence must come from younger races, from those like you, with the potential to become new gardeners." Zora straightened, decision made. "Then we'll make those days count. Axel, contact Earth. We need every ship we can muster. Dr. Tanaka, work with Zephyr. Find a way to use this technology against the Void Collective." As her team sprang into action, Zora gazed out at the impossible city stretching to the horizon. They had come so far, achieved so much. Now, it all hung in the balance. The next few days were a blur of activity. The combined fleets of humanity arrived in waves, taking up defensive positions around the confluence. Dr. Tanaka and her team worked feverishly to integrate precursor tech into their systems, pushing their ships and weapons to new heights of power. And all the while, the Void Collective approached, a dark tide threatening to extinguish the light of creation. As the enemy fleet dropped out of FTL, filling the sky with hostile ships, Admiral Zora Vega stood on the bridge of the Artemis. Around her, the combined forces of humanity waited, a thin line of defense between the confluence and annihilation. "All ships, this is Admiral Vega," she broadcast. "You know what's at stake. Not just Earth, not just humanity, but the very future of life in this universe. We are all that stands between existence and oblivion. Whatever happens, know that this is our finest hour. For Earth, for life, for the future, attack." The space around the confluence erupted in apocalyptic fury as the two forces clashed. Human ships, empowered by the full might of precursor technology, fought with a desperation born of knowing there would be no second chances. The battle raged for hours, the void lit by the death of stars and the birth of new physical laws. And at the heart of it all, the Artemis led the charge. Zora's tactical brilliance combined with the ship's enhanced capabilities, turning the tide again and again. But the Void Collective's numbers seemed endless. For every ship destroyed, two more took its place. Slowly, inexorably, they pushed towards the confluence. Just as all seemed lost, Dr. Tanaka's voice cut through the chaos. "Admiral, we've done it. We can use the confluence to seal off this entire sector of space. It'll stop the collective, but we'll be cut off from Earth, maybe forever." Zora closed her eyes, the weight of the decision heavy on her shoulders. With a deep breath, she opened them, resolve hardening her gaze. "Do it." As Dr. Tanaka activated the device, reality itself seemed to shudder. A wall of shimmering energy expanded outward, engulfing ships from both sides. The Void Collective vessels caught in its path simply ceased to exist, while the human ships found themselves in a bubble of space, cut off from the rest of the universe. As the energy field stabilized, an eerie calm fell over the battlefield. The remaining collective ships, now trapped with no hope of escape, fought with renewed desperation, but it was too late. The combined human fleet, though battered and reduced, still held the upper hand. Hours later, as the last enemy vessel fell silent, Zora stood once more on the bridge of the Artemis. The view screens showed a starfield wholly unfamiliar. Their bubble of space had been moved, anchored to a new reality to keep the power of the confluence safe. "What now, Admiral?" Axel asked softly. Zara turned to her crew, seeing the same mix of exhaustion, triumph, and uncertainty on every face. "Now," she said, her voice carrying across the ship and to the entire fleet, "we build. We've been given a second chance, a new beginning. We carry with us the legacy of Earth and the responsibility of the precursors. Out there are new worlds to explore, new civilizations to meet, and someday when we've grown wise enough, perhaps we'll find our way back home." As the fleet began to disperse, ships heading out to survey their new domain, Zara felt a presence beside her. Zephyr materialized, its form shimming with newfound energy. "You've done well, Guardian," the entity said. "The first test is passed, but many challenges lie ahead. Are you ready?" Zara looked out at the unfamiliar stars, a small smile playing on her lips. "Ready as we'll ever be. Let's see what's out there." And with that, humanity embarked on its greatest adventure yet, custodians of cosmic power and explorers of a brand new universe. The Confluence War was over, but the true journey was just beginning. A decade had passed since the Confluence War, and the remnant of humanity trapped in their bubble of space-time had undergone a remarkable transformation. What had started as a desperate fleet of survivors had blossomed into a thriving civilization spanning dozens of worlds. Admiral Zara Vega, now bearing the title of High Guardian, stood aboard the observation deck of New Horizons Station. The massive structure orbited the heart of their new home, a trinary star system they'd named Trinity. Below, the surface of New Earth gleamed with the lights of a burgeoning ecumenopolis. "Quite a view, isn't it?" a familiar voice remarked. Zara turned to see Dr. Yuki Tanaka approaching, her form now a seamless blend of organic and synthetic, a living embodiment of humanity's evolution. "Sometimes I still can't believe how far we've come," Zara admitted. Yuki nodded, her eyes flickering with data streams as she interfaced with the station's systems. "We've achieved things our ancestors could scarcely have dreamed of, but we've also taken on a tremendous responsibility." Indeed they had. In the years following the Confluence War, humanity had grown into its role as guardians of the cosmic nexus. They'd encountered other species trapped in their bubble of reality, some peaceful, some hostile, and worked to maintain a delicate balance of power. But it wasn't just alien life they had to contend with. The very fabric of their puppet universe was malleable, responsive to conscious thought in ways that defied conventional physics. It had taken years of discipline and technological safeguards to prevent stray thoughts from rewriting reality on a whim. Speaking of responsibility, Yuki continued, her expression growing serious. "We've detected another anomaly in the outer reaches. It bears similarities to the disturbance that preceded the Void Collective's arrival." Zara's cybernetic implants immediately interfaced with the station's sensor logs, analyzing the data. Could they have found a way back in? "Unlikely," Yuki replied. "But whatever it is, it's big, and it's getting closer." Before Zara could respond, an alert chimed throughout the station. "High Guardian," a synthetic voice announced. "Your presence is required in the Nexus chamber. Priority Alpha." Exchanging a worried glance with Yuki, Zara made her way to the heart of the station. The Nexus chamber was a marvel of post-confluence engineering, a space where the laws of physics were more suggestion than rule. At its center floated Zephyr, the enigmatic emissary of the cosmic board. "Greetings, Guardian," Zephyr's voice echoed with an otherworldly resonance. "A great trial approaches. The seals between realities grow thin." Holographic displays sprang to life around them, showing tears in the very fabric of space-time. Through these rifts, Zara could see glimpses of other realities, some eerily similar to their own, others wildly different. "The confluence was never meant to be contained in this way," Zephyr explained. "Its power seeks equilibrium across all realities. The barrier you created is breaking down." Zara's mind raced with the implications. If it falls completely? Then the Void Collective and countless other threats will gain access not just to this reality, but to all realities, Zephyr finished grimly. The multiverse itself hangs in the balance. As if on cue, alarms blared throughout the station. Commander Axel Donovan's voice came through the comm system. High Guardian, we're detecting multiple incursions. Unknown entities are breaching the barrier. Zora's training kicked in, years of experience guiding her actions. Full alert across all sectors. I want every ship we have ready for combat. Yuki, work with Zephyr, find a way to reinforce the barrier. As New Horizons Station transformed into a hive of activity, Zora made her way to the command center. The main view screen showed chaos unfolding across their sphere of influence. Rifts in reality were opening at an alarming rate, disgorging everything from antimatter storms to creatures that defy description. Status report, Zara demanded as she entered. Axel's hands flew over the holographic controls. It's a full-scale incursion, ma'am. We're getting reports of reality quakes on New Earth and the outer colonies. Our patrols are engaged with hostiles at multiple points, but for every rift we close, 2 more open. Zara watched as a squadron of human ships, their designs a blend of precursor tech and human innovation, battled what looked like living stars near the Argus Nebula. In another sector, ground forces on New Mars struggled against a tide of probability-shifting horrors. We can't fight them all, Zara realized. We need to strike at the source. She opened a channel to the Nexus chamber. Yuki, tell me you have something. Dr. Tanaka's voice came through, tense but controlled. We think we've identified the focal point of the incursion. It's Earth, Zara. Our Earth. Something there is calling to the confluence, trying to draw it back. Zara's breath caught in her throat. Earth. Home. After all these years, can we reach it? She asked. Theoretically, yes, Yuki replied. But it would require channeling an enormous amount of energy. We'd be opening a rift of our own, one big enough to send a ship through. And to stabilize our entire reality in the process, Zephyr's voice added, it is a desperate gamble, Guardian. If you fail, all realities may unravel. Zara closed her eyes, the weight of the multiverse pressing down on her shoulders. When she opened them, they blazed with determination. Prepare the Artemis for launch, she ordered. Axel, you have command of the defense fleet. Yuki, Zephyr, I'll need you both with me. Whatever's happening on Earth, whatever's calling to the confluence, we're going to face it head-on. As the crew scrambled to make preparations, Zara took a moment to address the citizens of their fledgling civilization. Her words were broadcast across every world, every ship, every corner of their reality. My fellow humans, and to all sentient beings who call this realm home, she began, her voice steady despite the chaos unfolding around them. We stand at a crossroads of cosmic importance. Everything we've built, everything we've become, is threatened. But we will not go quietly into the night. We are the guardians of the confluence, the inheritors of the precursor's legacy. And now we must become the saviors of all realities. She paused, letting her words sink in. Some of us will journey back to where this all began, to Earth. Others will remain here, defending our home against the forces that seek to unmake creation. The task before us is monumental, the odds staggering. But I have faith in our technology, in our determination, and in the indomitable spirit that has carried us this far. No matter what happens, know this. We face this challenge united, as one people, one civilization born of adversity and forged in the crucible of cosmic responsibility. May fortune favor the bold. For Earth, for Trinity, for all realities, we fight. As cheers erupted across the cosmos, Zara made her way to the Artemis. The ship hummed with power, confluence energy surging through its systems. All hands, prepare for trans-reality jump, she ordered as she took her place on the bridge. Let's go save the multiverse. In a blaze of impossible energies, the Artemis pierced the veil between worlds, hurtling towards an Earth changed by time and cosmic forces. As they plunged into the unknown, Zara allowed herself a small smile. Whatever awaited them on the other side, humanity would face it as they had faced every challenge since leaving their cradle among the stars, with courage, ingenuity, and the unwavering belief that their potential was limitless. The final battle for reality itself was about to begin, and humanity stood at the very heart of the storm.